Hello everyone, and now welcome to a second game between Sock and Lawliet. This game taking place here on Echo Isle. I say second game because, well, it is the second game I'm casting today, but these games I believe are all taken from the NetEase ladder. If you don't know what the NetEase ladder is, Chinese players or East Asia players generally play on a server separate from Battle.net. I'm not quite sure the logistical reasons why. You probably only know NetEase because of Diablo Immortal and all of the negative feedback that Diablo Immortal made there. I will say this, in America versus Asia in terms of mobile gaming and what is popular and what is acceptable, mobile gaming is much more popular in Asia than it is in America. Mobile gaming has this negative connotation, as in like dumbed down, not really full game in America, and true gamers don't play games on their phone. But in fact, the way Asia works, a lot of gamers play games on their phone. There's so many League of Legends clones out there on the phone, and other things like that, where the mobile is actually a very viable market. I don't know if we'll ever see a mobile WarCraft 3 or a mobile real-time strategy. It just doesn't go well for the genre, since they aren't really like short little tidbits that you can consume. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down here. We do see Lawliet spawning as the blue human player over here on the top left-hand side of Echo Isle. Meanwhile, over here on the top right, we have Sock spawning as the red orc. Orc versus human once more. It is going to be a Farseer going up against a Blood Mage. Alright, Blood Mage first. It is normally a meta choice to try and stop a Blade Master, since you're able to banish. I'm not quite sure what to expect with a Blood Mage first going up against a Farseer. Blood Mage, I felt, has always been the ugly sibling in this matchup here. As you can take a look, Farseer is going to be backing off. The Blood Mage, well, doesn't do anything very well early on. His base damage is rather weak. Siphon mana does not do a lot unless you are trying to give mana to someone else. Flame Strike has become much more usable in recent history because of the Blood Mage no longer has to be stationary for nearly as long. A quick banish to take the Blood Mage out of the fight, as the Blood Mage will be able to re-engage once more. Scout Tower upgrading to Arcane Tower halfway there. Meanwhile, Farseer is still running back around, and is this just going to be a situation where Sock ends up trying to be, Lawliet trying to be cute, ends up falling short, as the Farseer couldn't do a lot of harassment here. Blood Mage is not even that close to level 2 yet, only picked up with the Claws of Attack. Maybe pick Blood Mage to prevent early Peasant harass. Well, that's what he has an Arcane Tower for, right? Like, an early Arcane Tower stops early harassment very effectively. Meanwhile, double banish across two Forest Troll Trappers, as the Ogre Magi does end up getting taken down. Picks up Ring of Protection +2. Forest Troll Trapper is going to get finished off right there. There it goes. Meanwhile, the Farseer is back out onto the field. But with this many footmen, things might go awry very quickly. You don't want to engage back. Blood Mage now out onto the field. There's some Siphon mana, and all that's really going to do is say, you know what, Farseer, your mana looks delicious. Let me take it from you. Blood Mage going after some of those units here. No real possibility of Flame Strike. Flame Strike is rather effective against buildings, as we are now looking into a quick expansion attempt by Lawliet. Is Lawliet going to be able to come away with it? Meanwhile, the Farseer are still bringing over pressure with those Spirit Wolves, and also, well, with those Spirit Wolves and also that Farseer. Even with Arcane Tower, level 3 Farseer with 2 Chain Lightning and 1 Wolf may harass very strongly. That is true, but then if you're talking about using Banish to prevent any sort... Oh, good surround right there. well, I can't really call it a good surround. When you have 6 units, you better be able to surround your opponent's unit right there. As you're taking a look, Grunt will end up getting taken down. You do not want to be banishing your workers if you believe your opponent is trying to harass you. All right, Spirit Wolf may try and get in a shot on this peasant right there. Oh, good banish once more, saving a peasant. So nice use again, as this Spirit Wolf could end up getting taken down. Blood Mage is sitting at level 2, almost at level 3. Banish working there, but Chain Lightning would have the exact opposite effect, as a Chain Lightning onto a Banish unit does deal bonus damage. All right, Arcane Towers. Oh, Town Hall now done. 1 worker saved. Yes, yes. Yes, 1 worker saved with that banish so far, and also I believe possibly a footman, as the Farseer, who is high on hit points, going to be forced to retreat with not that much mana. We are already at tier 2. We're getting up a Shadow Hunter. We are going into dual bestiary for raiders, and we are also getting up a War Mill. Is the Farseer and the Shadow Hunter going to be able to get to level 2? That is the question now. And did Sok do enough during the early game to, even though he did fall behind, to really perhaps try and pull even with the superior technological advantage? His opponent, Lawliet, is still sitting at tier 1, but he is sitting on 2 bases. Meanwhile, we have a tier 2 orc in Lawliet with a Shadow Hunter and raiders now possibly getting ensnare. All right, 44 supply compared to 37 supply compared to 44. However, you got to remember 5 to 7 extra peasants were needed in order to build that expansion and set it up. Farseer, Shadow Hunter, both now rolling on out. Raiders joining in on the fight. Are we getting into ensnare? I don't know if I've seen it just quite yet. Meanwhile, the Shadow Hunter does perhaps have healing wave. Cheer 2500. Not quite how you do it, but if there is really a follow-up cheer, thank you very much. As the Farseer now about to engage here. All right, Farseer, ensnare onto a Footman. Footman now in a little bit of trouble. Force Troll Berserker also getting into a little bit of trouble as well. Banish onto the Force Troll Berserker to try and save it, as the Blood Mage has a lot of mana right now. All right, trying to banish individual units and now siphon mana away. Force Troll Berserker constantly being brought out of fight, as the Footmen are also getting microed back out as well. You can see the Blood Mage is doing exactly that, trying to save all of those lower hit point units, as you see more siphon mana being used, and now the Farseer and that Shadow Hunter are really just a shadow of their former selves. Raider now getting taken down, as we are taking a look at the Blood Mage engaging back and forth. Grunt gonna have a bad day here, as it is gonna be surrounded and taken out. All right, Force Troll Shadow Priest using that time and the opportunity to heal a Force Troll Berserker who was in fact banished, so he does benefit from bonus healing as well. Meanwhile, back over here to the bottom right, Lawliet setting up an expansion of his own. With an expansion of his own, he should be fine going into the mid-game, as a raider or group of raiders able to ensnare down and take out a Footman. Lawliet though, Sok still sitting at level 1 on both of his primary and secondary hero. Meanwhile, Sok sitting on a level 3 Blood Mage only, using the economic advantage to try and hire units up from the mercenary camp. And that mercenary camp is essentially training tier 2 units. Level 1 Mana Dream seems mediocre, but level 2 is much stronger. Yeah, it is significantly stronger there, able to do or shut down a lot of those heroes. And any sort of hero that is mana dependent ends up, well, finding themselves thirsty. Footmen now making their way back out. Let's take a look. We are setting up a Voodoo Lounge in the center portion of the map. Sok is starting to do a little bit of catch-up, but the technological advantage could shift over very quickly. All right, but level 2 is ridiculously strong. No, a level 3 Blood Mage with level 2 siphon mana. All right, Raiders now coming across to engage right here. You see a whole bunch of peasants, just holding their position. The Raiders gonna try and engage. Scroll of Town Portal could come on top. This could be bad if, well, are we gonna see any sort of escape right now? That is the big question. Trying to take it down. Banish onto a Raider, but still not enough. Able to trade that away. No use of the Scroll of Town Portal, though, as the Blood Mage unable, well, Scroll of Speed actually allowing everyone to get away. Beautiful use right there. I would have thought he was forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal in order to get away. Instead, Sock saved his resources, used a Scroll of Speed, and then used that time while running to heal back up. Beautifully done, beautifully executed. And, well, that's just maximizing every single hit point. Really, what Sock did there, I'm getting Sock and Lawliet confused, I'm sorry. What Sock did there was very strong. It could have gone the other way. Thank you, Atari, for the cheer. As we're now looking at the Raiders, gonna go ahead and try and engage off over here. All right, let's take a look. I do believe that there is pillage, and that is the reason why there is so much gold coming into the coffers of Sock. All right, let's go in after that. Going in off of those farms right now. Merry early Christmas to you as well, Atari, as the Blood Mage now sits at level 4. I don't believe there's a second hero as of yet. Continuing that push, I'm going to see a Scroll of Town Portal landing on top all of those units. Trying to retreat now. Blood Mage shows up, but gets one banish off onto a Raider. And that Raider, well, is a little bit slowed, but unless there's a follow-up slow from a Sorceress, the Raider is just going to be able to shake off that banish and be able to get away. Meanwhile, an Ogre Magi joins in on the fight as the Blood Mage picks up a free Scroll of the Beast. Coming back across here, Raiders ready to try and engage, take down a guard tower or two. Let's take a look at it. Those guard towers starting to poke apart that low hit point Raider, as one guard tower now done. Farseer at the 12 or 11 minute 45 second mark finally gets to tier 2. Meanwhile, it looks as though the fighting is getting underway. More Raiders getting taken down. There's some Siphon Mana. Scroll of Speed being used again. And this sort of tactic from Sock, using Scroll of Speed in order to get away and effectively just heal up, and stealing gold with pillage is working out extremely well. However, what is this? We are going into triple racks. Triple racks in a WarCraft 3 game. I am not talking about StarCraft 2. I don't remember the last time I saw triple racks in WarCraft 3, but I would assume at this point it means knights. Knights joining in onto the battlefield here, but the Raiders are already showing up to the party. They're going to start making work of this barracks extremely fast. One barracks could end up getting canceled. There are still multiple barracks left, and gold is still being taken, I believe. Yeah, gold is still being taken once more down those buildings. Back across on the other side, peons are being brought over. They are just repairing this great hall here and buying time. As you take a look, the peons, are they going to try and get away? No, they are not. Barrack after barrack looks like they will end up falling. There goes another barrack there, as this last barrack will get taken down as well. The expansion, the expo, is already up and operational again by Lawliet. And that speed building ability allowed that expansion to be replaced incredibly quickly, and the question is now going to come down to who has or who gets more gold. The Raiders doing a great job. We are looking what is the upgrade? All right, we are now going to Spirit Walker Mastery training. They're going to be able to start resurrecting Tauren. Is that really what the follow-up strategy is going to be? We are at Fortress, so the Spirit Walkers will also be able to resurrect themselves. Let's take a look at this. So Shadow Hunter sitting at level 2. A lot of damage being thrown across multiple units here. Meanwhile, the Blood Mage is just trying to push across inside here into the main base. Orc Burrows do not have fortified armor, meaning the piercing damage is going to start to add up. Siphon Mana, the Blood Mage now getting even more mana again, and this could be a problem. All right, Scroll of Town Portal landing back down. Blood Mage has plenty of mana, and where are all of these units going to be going? All right, Siphon Mana, Blood Mage in a very good spot right now, as he has a difficulty getting surrounded. Meanwhile, more Orc Burrows getting taken down. Now Sock upside down on supply, as he's just banishing multiple units left and right. All right, with no real magic damage, the Blood Mage will be able to step away very quickly, as another Orc Burrow will get taken down. Sock is sitting on a large amount of gold, but he's going to have no food for his army, so he's not going to be able to replace his army anytime soon. Continuing this fight here, Spirit Walker banish onto the Ogre Mauler, who looked like he was about to get taken out anyways. And, well, Lawliet is just taking apart this army. 45 supply compared to 41 right now, as the Blood Mage is still joining in on this fight. All right, trying to finish off a handful of raiders or two. Gonna be able to siphon mana again. Blood Mage, perhaps if it had Flame Strike, would be able to deal a good bit of damage as well. All right, banish onto the Forest Troll Berserker to try and save it as the peons are still there. Blood Mage, nothing's really challenging him as the Blood Mage is just constantly fighting back and forth. Spirit Walkers are in the ethereal form. What is going on here? Farseer has no way of easily finishing off units. Well, there is a handful of low hit point units now. All of a sudden, Lawliet could lose a lot of units. And who actually came out on top? Both sides with many units in the red. Castle, we are now going into weapons upgrade. Are we doing mortar teams? Barracks are now training up riflemen instead of knights, which I thought was the original strategy. Barracks being rebuilt back down to the south. Meanwhile, Farseer is now sitting at level 3. Clarity potions, healing salves are all going to be necessary. Shadowhunter finally gets up to level 3, and this is the 16-minute mark of this game. This is rather strange and unorthodox as the Tome of Retraining now going on the Blood Mage, which could mean Flame Strike. Alright, level 3 Flame Strike is extremely deadly, and it's going to shut down a lot of mining as well. So this could be, well, the flipping of the script right here. Let's take a look what is going to go on. Blood Mage now makes its way over, going after some of those units. Blood Mage runs on inside. There is the Flame Strike. There it goes. Damage is being done, but not very much of it, as there is a little bit of that damage over time still on the ground here. Mage still looking to engage, perhaps trying to finish off some more of those units there as Compion's going to get taken down. Flame Strike pretty much burning the Orc Burrows, maybe able to take them down to half-life here momentarily. Meanwhile, back down to the south, Orc Burrow is getting pressured here as well. At the other end of the map, Sock is trying to trade an expansion for a main base, but I don't know if that is a very safe call at all, as the Blood Mage is going to finish off one Orc Burrow and perhaps try and finish off another one as well. Orc Burrow does have improved armor against the attack of the Blood Mage, but the Blood Mage is also sitting at level 6 right now. Could be throw up a Phoenix in order to engage in that fight. Alright, Scroll of Town Portal heading back. Footmen, where are they going to be going? What is that Scroll of Town Portal heading back here? Phoenix is now out onto the field, able to deal good damage, and now we're going to see Riflemen getting added into this fight. Raiders and Spirit Walkers, always an interesting choice. What is going on? I cannot believe this game that I'm seeing, trying to predict what is going to happen as Taurens are now out onto the field. Taurens out onto the field, you see the Phoenix is out here as well. That magic damage. Raiders now coming across, trying to finish off that Phoenix again. Let's see if it's going to end up being enough, as you see that Flame Strike just finishing off a handful of units there. All right, Phoenix going to turn into that egg right now. It needs to get focused down to 77 hit points. It looks like that will end up getting taken down, as the Raider, well, is not going to try and engage back once more. 30 supply compared to 38. Tauren Chieftain, not even Tauren Chieftain, normal Tauren with Spirit Link chasing after all of these units. There is a pulverized Chain Lightning and pulverizing Tauren, something that I've talked about for years but haven't seen in actual play. Well, looking to make a strong play here. Healing Wave being used once again. Blood Mage does not have Siphon Mana, and all of a sudden the Shadowhunter and the Farseer is incredibly powerful with all of those abilities. All right, Raiders still engaging back once more. Meanwhile, gold still being mined. Gold slowly but surely getting into the coffers here, as the Raider is the lone Orc unit still benefiting from pillage. All right, Knight out onto the field. This, well, Raider knows that needs to back off. Knights are going to be a big problem for those Raiders, as the units are now in retreat again. All right, Knights do not have war training, only 835 hit points. Animal War Training is queued up, but it will be quite some time before it is ready to go. Meanwhile, level 2 weapons and armor upgrade getting underway. Thank you, Bruno Garrix, for the follow, as we're looking at the Farseer and all of the Wolves about to re-engage again. Shadowhunter Tauren now making their way over. Let's take a look. Ensnare onto those units. Let's take a look. One rifleman could get taken down. A beautiful flame strike across multiple units here. Tauren unable to get to that one rifleman, as that rifleman now looking to back up again. Raiders are looking to, well, peel back. It looks as though Lawliet still has a good advantage here, as the Tauren is not going to end up being able to survive. All right. Gonna get surrounded by knights, taken down. Blood Mage up to level 7. Flame strike almost finishes off a Tauren, but Lawliet wins game number 2. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.